cannot sacrifice yourself. The best thing you can do for poor people is not be one of them. You cannot help them.
Monique, why is she canceled? And then I know Tyler wouldn't support that. He never told nobody not to work with her. When I talked to him, he was like, nah, I never told no one not to work with her. And I said, but you Tyler Perry, and you never told anyone to work with her.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And he was like, I never looked at it like that. Because I said, you just got to consider how strong your influence is at that point.
In the ever-turbulent world of Hollywood, where power dynamics are often hidden beneath glitz and glamour, rapper and media mogul 50 Cent has once again stepped into the spotlight, not with music or TV, but to expose what he claims is a deeply rooted and sinister campaign orchestrated by none other than Oprah Winfrey, with help from longtime TV host Steve Harvey, to blacklist-acclaimed actress Taraji P. Henson following her recent public statements criticizing how she and other black actresses were treated during the making and promotion of The Color Purple, a film that failed to meet its high box office expectations despite featuring a star-studded cast including Taraji herself, Fantasia Barrino, Danielle Brooks, and Halle Bailey. During a press run meant to generate excitement for the film, Taraji couldn't hold back her emotions and broke down in interviews, expressing frustration at years of being underpaid, undervalued, and overlooked despite decades of dedication and critically acclaimed performances, noting how she was offered a shockingly low paycheck for her role in the film and almost walked away due to the insult, explaining that while people assume she's well off due to working consistently, the reality is she works that hard just to stay afloat, thanks to massive taxes, team expenses, and an industry that still fails to pay black actresses their worth.
As a black woman, you know, we do it with so much grace and get paid half the price of what we're worth. And that becomes difficult. And it's a slap in my face when people go, oh, you work all the time. Well, bitch, I have to, because the math ain't mathing. I wish I could do 2 films a year and relax the rest. I wish I had it like that. So because you see me working so much, I got to. You know, big bills come with this shit we do, okay? I don't do this alone. It takes a team. And they want to get paid for their work, as they should. So when you hear somebody making, oh, they made $10 million on this movie, well, you know Uncle Sam gonna get 50% off the top, right? And then you gotta pay 30% or however much you pay your team. So you really haven't made $10 million. So that's why that Benjamin Button story hits so hard, because all I was asking was for $500,000. I wasn't trying to take nothing from Brad Pitt or Kate Blanchett. They deserve to earn what they get because they work their asses off for it. I so too worked my ass off. And at the time, I couldn't say no. I didn't have any power because they would have been like, next. But I saw the bigger picture and I had to check my ego. And it was tough because I had to check it every day on that set. I had to check it because it would rise up in me and I would be like...
She cited her experience with the curious case of Benjamin Button, where she received just $500,000 while co-stars were paid millions, and the problem didn't stop there. Taraji admitted she hasn't received a significant raise since Proud Mary, a film she carried with incredible performance, yet instead of that leading to bigger checks, it seemingly led to the same stagnant treatment. Her emotional confessions resonated deeply with many, including fellow stars like Viola Davis, who reminded the public that despite winning Oscars, Emmys, and Tonys and having the same qualifications as white actresses, like Meryl Streep, she still earns a fraction of what they do and constantly has to beg for what she's earned. And Gabrielle Union and Keke Palmer also joined in by sharing their own struggles of being underpaid and still responsible for paying teams, bills, and overhead costs just to keep their brands alive. However, instead of support from the top, it seems Taraji's truth-telling sparked backlash, particularly from Oprah Winfrey, who reportedly saw Taraji's statements as harmful to the film's success and allegedly blamed her for the movie's commercial failure.
Breaking my heart. Like 20 plus in the game, it breaks my heart. It's like every time you achieve something really incredible, it's almost like the industry looks at it as a fluke. Like, oh, that was like some one-time thing. Fall back to the bottom. And you gotta negotiate and fight tooth and nail to get what you made the last time. When where's my raise? I haven't seen a raise in my income since Proud Mary. And almost had to walk away from Color Purple. Yes, ma'am. Who said what? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Because you know what? If I don't take a stand, how am I making it easy for Fantasia and Danielle and Hallie and Felicia? Then why am I doing this? If it's all just for me, why are you here?
And now, behind closed doors, Oprah is said to be pulling strings to quietly sabotage Taraji's career, much like she allegedly did to Monique in the late 2000s, when Monique refused to do unpaid promotion for Precious after being paid only $50,000 for the role, leading to Oprah, according to Monique and later confirmed by Lee Daniels, labeling her difficult and ensuring she was blackballed from future Hollywood opportunities, a move that devastated her career until 50 Cent stepped in years later to give her a platform again through his series Black Mafia Family and public support. And now history seems to be repeating itself with Taraji, except this time, 50 is speaking up before the damage becomes irreversible, calling out Oprah directly and even accusing Steve Harvey of playing a key role in helping her blacklist Taraji by using his influence to sway studio decisions, a claim made even more believable considering Steve Harvey's long history of allegedly sabotaging other black entertainers, including Bernie Mac, whom Steve was rumored to be jealous of, and his tendency to promote harmful stereotypes under the guise of comedy, with past criticisms from figures like Cat Williams and even Monique herself, who once confronted Steve on his own show for not standing up for her when she was being unfairly targeted, to which Steve told her to play the game, further cementing his image in some circles as a sellout more loyal to status and relationships than justice or integrity. 50 Cent, known for his unapologetic trolling but also his fierce loyalty to those he supports, is now going hard for Taraji, stating he has receipts that could expose Oprah's sinister agenda and potentially get her canceled for good. And he's not holding back, even pointing out that he personally helped make Mary J. Blige one of the highest paid black actresses on TV with her $400,000 per episode deal. On Power Book 2, Ghost, showing that there is a way to value black talent if the will exists. Yet in contrast, Oprah's alleged treatment of her cast on the Color Purple set was far from supportive, with reports surfacing that Fantasia and Danielle Brooks were not even given private dressing rooms and were made to share cramped spaces, and even food was scarce during production, adding fuel to Taraji's complaints which, when reportedly brought to Oprah's attention, were allegedly dismissed, coldly with Oprah telling her to get out, sparking even more tension between them. Tension that fans began to notice during awkward press events where Oprah appeared to pressure Taraji into smiling and going along with the PR campaign despite the obvious strain. And while The Color Purple was hyped for months and expected to be a major box office and awards contender, it only managed to gross around $58 million on a budget exceeding $100 million, with much of that money going to theaters and little return to producers, prompting an early digital release in a desperate attempt to recoup costs. And now Oprah is allegedly pointing the finger at Taraji for spreading negativity that turned audiences away. An accusation many find unfair considering the overwhelming positive fan response to the cast's performances and the growing awareness of how black actresses are routinely mistreated and undercompensated in the industry, which may have had more impact than Oprah realized. Fans weren't buying Taraji's sudden reversal where she began praising Oprah as a steady and solid beacon of light and thanking her for her support, believing it was either damage control or a forced statement to protect her career from further harm, especially as rumors spread that studios were already pulling Taraji off projects and reducing her opportunities, eerily similar to what happened to Monique. And now the conversation has shifted from individual conflict to a broader reckoning within Black Hollywood, with more people calling out the systemic issues that keep black women at the bottom despite their achievements, and questioning why figures like Oprah, who built empires on the backs of black audiences, continue to perpetuate the very discrimination they once fought against. And while Oprah has yet to publicly respond to these latest allegations, the tide of public opinion is shifting, with many longtime fans and industry insiders expressing disappointment in her alleged behavior and applauding 50 Cent for taking a stand, even if he does it in his signature dramatic style. Because at the end of the day, his actions have directly helped actresses like Monique and now potentially Taraji, who might otherwise be silenced. And as more people speak out and receipts continue to surface, this moment may mark a turning point in how Hollywood treats black talent, especially women who are no longer willing to play the game in silence, no longer afraid of being labeled as difficult or emotional, but instead choosing to speak with clarity, purpose, and courage, as Taraji did, not just for herself, but for the countless other women of color in entertainment who remain unseen.